What's happening, y'all? Welcome into Wake Up Barstool. It is Wednesday, and we got a lot to get to. The Saints and the Cowboys brawling at camp. Can Von Miller bring a Super Bowl to Dallas? Plus, a couple of your favorite segments, the baseball bonanza and Griff ins and outs. How about MVP doing it again last night? And we have a great friend of the show, one of our favorites, IndyCar phenom, Pato O'Ward, coming by. It's going to be a great day, and it all starts now on FS1.
Good start to the day.
The vibes are incredibly high. What's happening, y'all? Welcome in. This is Wake Up Barstool. T-Bob Abear, Evan Bosenko, Connor Griffin, and KB here with you today. No Brandon Walker, boys. Uh-oh. When Daddy's away, the boys will play. How are we feeling, guys?
He's in Nashville?
He is in Nashville, currently doing a little home and home with Josh Pate. Of course, everybody should go check out the Brandon Walker College Football Show, his brand new show he launched with Pate. Now he's paying back the favor. Brandon going to be gallivanting and sauntering up and down Broadway.
Which I can't picture. He does not strike me as a Nashville type of guy.
Who is a Nashville type of guy? Are you a Nashville
Me?
type of guy?
Would love to get to Nashville. I've been dying.
You might be the least Nashville type of guy I could possibly imagine, Connor.
You get me on a line dancing floor, watch out. Watch out.
I mean, wait, but why not Brandon? He's from the South. He looks good in a cowboy hat. I saw the salt and pepper walk yesterday. Just a very confident, swaggerless.
I think it's because
walk.
he's pasty. He's a headaches guy.
Yes.
Yeah,
It doesn't
I
seem
guess
like a
that's
good
fair.
city for a headaches guy.
A lot of neon lights and whatnot.
Yeah.
Too much commotion, yeah.
Are you all excited to not be bullied as much today?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're controlling mostly sports later, so yeah, watch that if you want, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, excellent. KB, if you feel the need, like there's an absence of bullying, feel free to obviously get after them.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it easy on Ebo. I might bully, I might bully Connor, but
That's
not
just the way it goes, yeah.
not Evan.
All right, let's. So we got a lot to get to in this A block. Roger Goodell talking about international teams. We got some badass training camp fights and an insane story coming out of Penn State. Let's start with Goodell, guys. It seems like it is not a matter of if, but when for an international NFL team. Roger Goodell says it is inevitable. Connor, when you hear that, what's your immediate gut reaction?
Well, I hate it. I hate how much the product is being diluted. They're already experimenting with putting the games on all these different days. They're already doing a Wednesday game, and they're going to eventually branch off, and they're going to do every single game of the week. I know they are. They're going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So they're doing that. They're messing now, obviously, with all these international games. How many international games are there this year? It's the most. There's
9 or 10.
Yeah, and you turn them on. It's 9 o'clock in the morning here, 8 o'clock in the morning here. It's just diluting the product. It's spreading the schedule out way too much. And if you add in an international team, then yeah, you absolutely just completely ruin the sanctity, I think, of a good football Sunday.
For confirmation, real quick, 9 international games. Go, Ebo.
Yeah, so we already have the Jaguars. That's one international team. So
Yes.
I'm already used to it. I've gotten my palate is ready for an international team. But also, I think Connor's being a little short-sighted with this because what are the best moments like in sports this year? It's the Olympics, which is like all about national pride.
Yeah.
And World Baseball Classic was awesome because it was all about
great.
international pride. And also, Connor, you're forgetting they can put teams in Brazil and Mexico and Colombia, not just Europe. And you are the #1 Latina fan I know.
That's true. I've seen your
So
algorithm.
to complain about international
Latina.
football is certifiably insane when you think about all the Latinas that are out there.
An overwhelming amount of Latina baddies on your algorithm. And the NFL invading Mexico would be key to increasing your chances there. And Evo, shocking you mentioned all the international events and just didn't mention the World Cup. the thing that completely dominated the race.
Sorry, I'm a baseball guy. I'm a
dominated the
World
summer.
Baseball Classic.
Yeah, I'm just a WBC guy.
Listen, man.
Here's the deal, Evo. You're a finance guy. You're diving into everything going on with the Dodgers right now. Have you ever heard the term the cult of perpetual growth?
No, but I'm sure you'll tell me.
The thing that defines like corporations, right? I think it's fair to say that the NFL is squeezing blood from the stones when it comes to dominating America. Like you said, right? There's really only so many days left on the calendar. There's only so many time slots. We had 7 million people on average watch the Hall of Fame game, okay? We are obsessed. So what we're set up for here, boys, it's a little inverse of the age of exploration, okay? Back in the day, we had to come from Europe to the New World to find gold in these here hills. The NFL looking to do the opposite. They already dominate this area of the world. Like, if they think about growth, these owners want as much money as possible. It doesn't matter. They're already oligarchs. They know the gold lies in the untapped markets. The untapped markets are the world. I guess logistics are the problem. Is this, we said not when, not if, but when. Is it just a matter of, and it sounds really crazy, but like supersonic flight? Like, do we have to have like
Concorde?
Yeah. Well, yes, like kind of exactly. I'm not like is that a potential way to solve this? Is it with some creative scheduling where like everybody rotates and kind of spends a week? It's hard to parse, but just know I can feel the dollar signs in these owners' eyes and in Roger Goodell's eyes when he talks about this potential expansion.
But if a team isn't like, if they put, let's say, like 3 teams in Mexico, which isn't like that far-fetched, and like 3 teams in Canada, is that really that crazy or insane of a logistical problem to solve?
I don't think that is, but for some reason, I don't know. Maybe actually Mexico would probably do incredible money. What do you?
Because
CFL.
I understand the concern is like, oh, they do the London games and they do the Germany games, so obviously there's going to be teams overseas, and that's like a 6-hour, 7-hour long-haul flight just from New York. How would the teams from LA play? But also, like, it could be cool to go, like, if the Giants went and played, like, the Mexico City Aztecas or something.
Yeah, it'd be sick.
That'd be an awesome game.
It would be an awesome game. I wonder if we could get, like, a list of the NFL priorities. I still feel like London is one with a bullet, but I bet you Mexico City is, like, right there behind it. Maybe
Brazil,
like a Toronto somewhere.
The NFL Brazil account has a massive presence online. Like, NFL is massive in Brazil. That's a country that could absolutely...
One thing we learned during the World Cup, too, South American Twitter's incredible.
Oh, amazing.
So if we were to expand into South America as an NFL, I would love to get to hang out with the homies from down south.
Our manifest destiny.
Yeah, okay, well, yeah. But no, I mean, yes, Ebo, that's what these owners
view it.
That's what these owners think. You're absolutely right.
I don't want expansion. I don't want to go outside of the United States, but if we did have to, just based off of how sick the college football games there have been, I want Ireland.
I love the Aer Lingus.
Yeah.
Every single year I love the Aer Lingus. They're always locked in. Again, maybe, yeah. Like that Germany, it's up there. So again, guys, not if, but when. For one, I'm actually looking forward to the Saints game in Paris this year. I think it's going to be kind of sick. Speaking of the Saints and Cowboys hosting a little joint practice, and it got a little chippy. I love it personally as Saints fan. Tyler Shuck talking about, oh man, yeah, we're competitive out there talking trash. Like that's what this is all about. But okay, you see number 89 for the New Orleans Saints. Look at these moves. They're grabbing face masks. Okay, now he gets a guy, little reverse suplex. Do you know whose son that is? It's Scott Steiner's son.
Cousin of Braun Breaker.
Exactly, dude. A man with a literal WWE lineage, Big Papa Pump son hitting the suplex in the joint practice fight. You love to see it, dude.
Yeah, you just dated yourself because Scott Steiner, I'm not familiar with his work, but
oh, you know Scott Steiner?
Yeah, I didn't really. Yeah, of the. I mean, we don't gotta do the. We don't gotta do the wrestling.
Brandon's not here today. We don't have to talk about wrestling.
He used to kiss the biceps.
It's like, do you know who the guy that started on Wicked 20 years ago? I don't know. I don't know him.
No, that's so disrespectful.
Who played the lead role in Cats 20 years ago? I got no idea.
And look, as a math guy, we're getting it cleared legally, but just get ready for Steiner math, okay? Gird your loins, because you're gonna fall in love with this guy off the bat. Look, I love this. It's competitive out there, and a lot of times these joint practices are better indicators of who's going to make the team than even the preseason games are. Because the full playbook's open in these practices. Teams are really competing, where sometimes preseason can be a bit more dialed back. Guys keeping things under the hood. And speaking of the Cowboys here, guys, they recently signed future Hall of Famer Von Miller, Texas native. He's talking about being 5 years old. His dad cheering for the Cowboys. Never thought he would end up here. It's a dream come true. But what stood out to me Okay, Von Miller is a player who's won Super Bowls in both Denver and Los Angeles. And he said he signed with Dallas, Connor, because he believes that this is the year where the Cowboys have a legitimate Super Bowl chance.
He's got a sense of humor, I suppose. I don't think that this is the year. I know a lot of people around this office, just talking to people, I know a lot of people nationally are starting to really buy in on the Cowboys hype. This is a really great addition for them. People automatically assume that Von Miller at this stage in his career, a little bit washed. He did play in all 17 games last
He
year.
had 9 sacks last year.
And 9 sacks.
If
So-
9 sacks is washed, then I would love
Exactly.
to be, I would love to bathe.
He's still got some stuff that he could add to this defense, especially since they have been retooling it. I cannot trust this Cowboys team in the postseason. Dak Prescott, 2-5 postseason record. I'm not a fan, but hey, he's going to play for the team he's always wanted to play for. Might be his last stop in his NFL career. All the power to him. I don't think that the Cowboys are going to get that level of hype that they attract.
I do, as someone who's a passionate LA fans don't deserve all the success they have, I do love this quote. He's talking about how in Denver they had 1 million people at the parade, but in LA it was like, there were gaps, they were stopping at red lights, and he was basically saying if they were to bring the Super Bowl back to Dallas, that it would be the biggest thing that he could possibly do in his career.
Yeah, I mean, America's team hasn't been America's team since what, 1996?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they need a renaissance before Jerry has to move on. So.
Well, and again, remember Jerry Jones all in. He's made moves as if he's all in, and Von Miller going to be a key part of a defense that if Dallas is going to win the East, if they're going to accomplish these goals, and I'm starting to come around to it a little bit. Remember, we had Nate Tice on yesterday. He has Dallas as his Super Bowl pick. He had an all Texas, Dallas, Houston Super Bowl, which is kind of fun.
Wow.
But if they're going to do this, it's going to be with the defense. And Von Miller is almost a middle reliever type kind of spot pass rusher, could be key in that regard, like a Chris Long was later in his career for both, I think, the Eagles and the Patriots, right?
It is also nice to see, like, these guys not going away, like the Von Miller and the OBJs. Like, people can say they're washed, whatever, but it's part of your childhood, and they get to, or childhood or your past, and makes you feel something. They get to stick around a little longer, which is nice.
It keeps you young in some ways. Speaking of young, our final story here in the A block, just an insane story out of Penn State. A fraternity-fueled cocaine ring where I guess you had a couple of young men like Agostino Abatiello reportedly leading a group of like 14 to 60 guys smuggling massive amounts of cocaine, spreading throughout college. All very obvious stuff. I was interested though, because I haven't seen this a lot of other places. So the top 2 guys are in custody, but there's a rumored third ringleader that has not that's not been apprehended yet, and we have a sketch of him. They did release a police sketch of him, and if anybody knows this man, contact your local authorities. We have to knock out this Penn State drug ring. We can't have it.
Where is that picture?
I thought that was Tanton.
What a crazy way to end the A block here. I specifically have not been talking about this story because, I don't want people getting any ideas. I was not in a fraternity. Ironically, though, the apartment I lived in was right across the street from one of the fraternities that was mentioned.
Interesting.
I was not in a fraternity. I was not involved in any of that. Not a drug guy. A drug guy.
Is this the worst thing that's happened in Penn State, in the history of Penn State, involving young men?
The Penn State fraternity system has had multiple incidents over the past 10, 15 years. This is just another one. It's why I was never in a fraternity. I did not want to join it.
If anybody knows.
This is why you didn't join the frat is very funny.
not because I knew that there was a cocaine ring.
You didn't want to
join the international drug ring.
When it comes to, there's been some bad stories, and I just did not want to be a part of it. Still had a great time at Penn State. You can have a great time at Penn State just by not joining a cocaine ring.
So again, guys, if anybody knows who that was, please get in touch with us. We want to help justice.
Why are we doing this?
Be served. Coming up next, it's time to head to the Diamond. Ebo's Baseball Bonanza MVP doing it again last night, making history. Look at Chicago. More coming up here on Wub Next. Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool, guys. Baseball's in the air. I mean, we are rocketing towards October. The contenders are playing incredibly. The Brewers beat the Mariners 22-0 last night. But here in Chicago, the Crosstown Classic going down. It's White Sox, it's Cubs, it's in Wrigley, and my God, it's PCA. Not a day removed from leading off the game yesterday with a home run, then closing with a walk-off. How does he open last night? With another home run, Ebo, the first player in MLB history to do so.
And they walk it off again. I mean, PCA is maybe the most electric player in all of sports, T-Bob.
Yeah, we talked about it on Mostly Sports yesterday, right? I mean, right now it's the total package. It's the power, the speed, the swagger, and again, the excitement. The Cubs with a league-leading 13 walk-offs this year. And how dangerous, Connor, do you feel this Cubs team can be when you have PCA, Seiya, and then Bregman now, who struggled for a lot of the year, coming online?
Bregman is the key, and the fact that he's completely flipped it around. Now he's catching fire and can be a real veteran presence on the team. As a guy who has won before at the highest level, now he's really starting to hit. Now he's going to hopefully spur some offense throughout that entire lineup. But PCA is just insane what he's doing right now. I also love how he came to this office yesterday. He had some ice cream from the ice cream machine.
Yep.
He had a square off with White Sox Dave, our
Which,
resident
by the
White
way,
Sox
production,
superfan.
we should have done this before, doing it live. If we can get the White Sox Dave PCA interaction, let's see if we can get that. Sorry, go ahead.
PCA said in that, because White Sox Dave was like, oh, I hate how you're on this like Babe Ruth type of trajectory right now. And PCA said, well, it's going to be regular. And he follows it up, that whole interaction with going yard in his very first at bat again. They just have a swagger to them, and I didn't know that about leading the league in walk-offs. That's crazy.
Yeah, 13 walk-offs this year for the Cubbies.
Very similar to the magic of the Chicago Bears this past season. Where they're
Fair.
Comeback kids, they're walking it off, the late-game heroics. They just have that DNA in them, and it's a very fun team to watch right now.
There's that picture of Caleb Williams and PCA looking a bit younger, kind of. They might have been from a couple of years ago, but they're both at a Blackhawks game, and everybody in Chicago kind of highlighting, wow, look at the blessed times in which we live. So, to have the level of expectation, to move ahead of Shohei, to do all of these things, and then again to end the game in the manner that you did last night, and the Bregman piece is so important to highlight here because when PCA comes up in the ninth, there's a man on second to do the leadoff double. What do they do? They immediately walk him.
Yeah.
Okay, we can't lose that. We can't let him beat us. But then Bregman ends up protecting the inning, comes up with the big hit, also tied it in the seventh. So, yeah, I mean, Ebo, like, is this Cubs, are they a legitimate World Series threat to the Dodgers, to the Brewers?
I think absolutely. I think they're the best defensive team in baseball. That's something that is very, very valuable, especially come the postseason in Wrigley where maybe the ball's not flying out of the ballpark. If the pitching is even remotely decent considering what they've been through this year with the pitching staff, come October, they're legitimate threats to the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers are showing a bit of a opportunity for teams to take them out.
Ooh.
Not that I don't think that they will be the favorites to win the National League, but we have seen like the Brewers go in and beat them, and the Cubs beat them, and like the Braves. Matt Olson has been unbelievable this year. So it's like there's teams in the National League that could absolutely take down the Dodgers.
Yeah, Edwin Diaz moving to the IL for the Dodgers.
Phillies have been great since they fired their manager.
Also, last of the Cubbies, we'll get into the Bonanza. I thought, defensively, there's been so much talk of Dansby Swanson being out. What would the impact be? And you're not bad. Like, there's still going to be impact, but Pedro Ramirez doing a fantastic job sliding in at second. Horner at short, and they had a couple of nice double play combinations last night. All right, let's fly around the rest of the league with Ebo's Baseball Bonanza.
Yeah.
That's right, T-Bob. I'm going to start the Baseball Bonanza with a trivia question.
Okay, hit me.
Who is the best reliever in all of baseball?
Trevor Hoffman.
Actively.
Oh. I don't know.
Who would you say? Who is the hot name that people say?
Connor, take it away.
Closer, maybe some people might.
Johan Duran.
No. Who's a closer that people might say on the Padres? He throws like 105, T-Bob. His name is Consonation M. Miller.
Oh, Mason Miller.
Mason Miller, yeah.
Yes, alliterative.
It's not him.
Okay.
It's not him.
Okay.
It's Brayton Bell.
Okay.
Another alliterative name.
He was a starter at the beginning of the year for the Boston Red Sox, Steve Bob. He had a 10.3 ERA as a starter.
Good God.
He got moved to the bullpen. He now has an ERA under 0.9 as a reliever.
What?
As a reliever, and he's going long. Like he's chewing up innings as a reliever. He's been unbelievable since they moved him to the bullpen, and he might be the best reliever in baseball now.
Wow.
How does this work? He just
It's a great question, Bob.
Something about, like, is that a mentality thing? Is that a
Could be a shift in mentality. Could just be like baseball luck shifting in your direction, but he's been unbelievable.
Well, do you think that pitchers nowadays, given the analytics revolution and everything, are they more receptive and open to making that type of shift from a starter to a reliever? Because I imagine before it was probably like smack in the face.
Yeah, it's
Oh
fair.
yeah, your ego wouldn't
appreciative.
allow it.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. Nowadays, kind of more interchangeable.
Yeah.
The pieces feel.
Yeah, also like probably back in the days, it was a number one piece in your contract negotiation was like, are you starter or reliever? But if you can, as long as you get outs now in Major League Baseball, who cares?
So you look at the AL wildcard
Yep.
standings, Ebo. The Yankees still at the top, but the Yankees' offense in trouble.
Yeah, basically since Aaron Judge went out, they have the worst offense in baseball, and that's not an exaggeration. They have the second lowest WRC plus of any team in baseball, lowest in the American League. Only the Reds are lower. They need Judge back because the pitching staff has been unbelievable. Especially, Max Fried just went on the IL, but you got Garrett Cole back. You have Carlos Rodon. You have Cam Schlittler. It's elite, and the back end of the bullpen is very good. So if the Yankees can get any sort of offense going, they're another World Series threat. But they've been terrible without Judge, and I guess they're hoping to get him back near the end of September. But
I was going to ask.
we're not really
update on the
sure
situation
if that
was.
means like he'll be full strength, ready to go. So
He's starting his hitting progression soon, is what I saw. But
yeah,
and of course, T-Bob knows what it is. KB knows what it is.
Yeah.
I'll
I know
put
what
my hand up and ask, what exactly is WRC plus?
so weighted runs created plus. League average is 100, right? If your WRC plus is 86, you're 14% worse than league average.
Okay.
I don't.
It's normalized to 100, guys.
Never
it's
mind.
very
Next.
simple.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Just give me like run scored. Give me RBI.
Okay, I'll
That's
give you
all I
some
need.
classics. I'll
That's
give you
all
some
I need.
classics.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with a guy named Corbin Carroll? Another
Another
alliteration.
yeah, we're in.
Another alliteration. We're gonna do our A, B's, and C's.
We
today.
literally,
Okay. What do we got?
Anthems, bops, and classics. Am I right? Corbin Carroll deserves so much more respect. He became the third player in MLB history with under 650 career games and before the age of 20 or age 25 or younger to reach 100 doubles, 50 triples, and 100 homers in that time frame in his first 650 games
God.
and before turning 26.
Wait, so Corbin Carroll joins Joe DiMaggio and Lou Gehrig?
Yes. Obviously, there's guys who have done it, but maybe not at such a young age
Yeah.
or at such a fast pace. Corbin Carroll, it's kind of quiet because it's in Arizona.
I was going to ask
not
if
the
it's
name
fair,
brand.
He's a Diamondback.
Yeah, if you're a baseball sicko, you probably know that Corbin Carroll is a legit Major League Baseball superstar. But he might be on track to like all-time like Hall of Fame level Corbin Carroll. So this is a very significant accomplishment. And I've pointed out on this show before, he might get to a level of triples that we have not seen since they didn't have like fences in the outfield, or the fields were 500 feet deep.
Ebo, this Bonanza's already given me so much this morning, but if I could just ask for one more thing, I need one more alliterative name to be involved in a story here.
Yep. Back to the basics with Brian Baker. Brian Baker was traded last year by the Baltimore Orioles for a compensatory pick to the Rays.
Yeah.
Kind of a throwaway deal, you know. He'd struggled most of his career, ERA near 5 and 4 the last 2 seasons. He's now converted 24 straight saves. He closed out the All-Star game. He has a 1.74 ERA, and he got his most recent save, a 5-out save against his former team, the Baltimore Orioles, and grabbed an area of his body that I'm not sure I'm allowed to say on national TV.
Brian Baker's ball.
Yeah.
no.
Brian Baker balls. This was a joke in response to the Orioles over the weekend were also grabbing their balls, rounding third, or taking walks. So very, very happy for Brian Baker. He's a friend of the program. Big Dozen Trivia fan. I actually do believe he is a Marquettes fan. So yeah, shout out Brian Baker, friend of the stool.
The what was I gonna say? Oh, the Rays meme remains supreme. Where it's like, oh, who the Rays? You know, I'm so excited about the Rays trade. Who'd they get? Because I don't know. They just always get the most out of their pitchers. Great baseball bonanza there, Ebo. Even with me completely blanking at the end. Coming up next, it's time to talk to the Indy 500 superstar Pato O'Ward. IndyCar superstar Pato, good friend of the show. Got a historic race coming up in D.C. this weekend. Don't go anywhere more. Wake Up Barstool on FS1. So I've gotten to do a lot of incredible things since my dream come true, get to host this show on FS1 every morning, but nothing has been cooler, more life-changing, or a more core memory than getting to be embedded with Pato O'Ward's team, the Arrow McLaren team at the Indy 500 mile manager, the best memories of my life. And here's a guy, Pato, back ahead of the Freedom 250 coming up this weekend on Fox. Pato, what's up, man? How we doing today?
Hey, Bob. Thanks for the invitation, man. Good morning. Looking forward to it. We're in an intense stretch, you know?
Yeah. Here, exactly. Like you said, kind of the stretch run of the season here. I want to get into all that, but first, let's talk about the Freedom 250. So this is going to be going through the streets of D.C. You're going to be driving by, national monuments. It's a ton of laps. It's going to be insane. You just got on the simulator. What were kind of your first early returns on starting to feel this track out?
It's a short track, but it's a cool track. We were there all day yesterday, and I've never personally been to DC, so this will be a completely new experience for me as a tourist and as a racing driver as well, because the circuit is new. So I'm excited. I think this is a huge opportunity for IndyCar, and honestly, it's pretty badass that the president of the United States said, "No, I want IndyCar here to celebrate 150th anniversary." So honestly, it's amazing to be a part of this. I feel very grateful and humbled in a way. So I can't wait. I'm flying in later today.
I have a dumb question. Does the sim have the buildings in it? Or is the sim just about the track and the feel and everything, or does it have kind of sight lines and everything built in?
It's got some sight lines. I would say before we actually get to run there, it's not as fancy as it is maybe if we were going to do it the following year. But there's definitely some structures. You can't really see the Capitol building.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was. Okay,
but,
so you'll have to wait for real life for that.
Yeah. But in all the other ones, all the other street courses that we go to, after we actually get to run there and then we scan basically where we're driving through, then it really is like a match. It's pretty cool.
Well, and so that's kind of the question I have, because here you are, I guess you'll get to touch the track for the first time on Friday in terms of driving it, but you're going to be putting your...
Saturday.
Saturday. So just Saturday.
Yeah.
That's
just
the first time.
Show.
Oh my God. So
2-day show, baby. Intense.
So you have to put your life on the line, quite literally, with a course that you won't physically touch till Saturday. What is that process like, and kind of what effect does that have on the field? Are there certain guys that maybe advantageous to, how does that work?
That's why we do a lot of the prep prior to getting there as much as we can with our friends at Chevy. I mean, they ultimately gave us, the best tool that they've got, which is the simulator, in order to just to see where the track goes, right? We don't really have the bump content of what everything's going to be like. So there's still a lot of unknowns that the engineers are going to be right on right after FP1 to be able to adjust ride heights and basically all the little things that do add up to quite a bit on all the sensations that we're getting in the race car. After free practice 1, that's going to be the main changes if there's something that's completely wrong. But for us, we need to know a little bit of what gears to be in, a little bit of what the turn profiles are going to be. And it's a short track, man. It's only 7 corners, so it's very wide. There's plenty of braking zones, so I think you're going to see a lot of people passing, and
oh hell yeah,
it's going to be the longest street course race that we have all year. 250 miles is going to be close to 150 laps. So it's going to be like 3 hours.
Well, we can't wait to watch this weekend. I do actually, though, want to go back to how you first got into racing, if you don't mind, just because I'm always fascinated with IndyCar drivers. What is it that makes you really want to get it? Is it just like a need for speed? Were you an adrenaline junkie growing up? Like, what was the decision for you to get into this profession?
Man, I mean, I started off in go-karts. I feel like a lot of us, that's kind of where we all start. And then it was my grandfather's fault on my mom's side. He was the car nut. He likes airplanes. Anything that's bad for your bank account, he likes.
Okay.
So, he's the one that kind of gave me one. And to be fair with you, I was kind of like, But then when I was 6, I went to a race. And when I got my go-kart, my cousins got them too. Like, we're 14 cousins in that side of the family. It's a lot of.
Let's go, dude.
And they also got one. And one Sunday, they invited me to go to this race where my older cousin and my younger one were racing. And I was watching them like go around. None of them were winning. And I was like, I can do a better job. And then that's actually like the competitive side of me, of like seeing that and be like, I can do better. That is what ultimately then brought me home. And I told my dad, like, okay, I want to go. And he was like, what? You didn't even care. And that was the start of it, man. Never looked back. I mean, obviously it starts as a hobby, and but then this dream of becoming a professional and doing it as your job. I've dedicated my life to this. I've been consumed by this the last 20 years, 21 years. And I wouldn't change it for anything.
I'm curious, do you have a favorite thing to drive outside of an IndyCar, whether it be a side-by-side or a motorbike or something in your free time? Or does like driving a car that is a rocket ship strapped to wheels almost like ruin the sensation of driving? Like if you drive down the road, are you like, this is so boring?
Well, funny you asked that. I'm going to speak about, hopefully McLaren doesn't get mad at me, but I'm so used to the race car, man. I mean, your ass is dragging on the floor, these things are on the ground. You feel every bump, everything. And when I come home, I always had a dream of what it would feel like to have the smoothest ride on a car, because I would experience something completely different. So actually my favorite thing to drive is when I first was able to have to get my hands on a Rolls Royce.
Oh, let's go.
Oh my God, this is amazing. So that's actually my favorite all-time car. Like, it's just I feel like just such a G in it. And it's crazy because I'm so used, and I love supercars and I love all these, but when I come home, I'm always like, oh, quiet and peace. And it's just like, you're just cruising. So that's cool. I love motorcycles too, but I can't do it contractually.
Yeah, a little too dangerous. Speaking of feeling like a G, I mean, watching you before the race, kind of the aura, the gravitas, it was like watching like a superhero or like a fighter pilot preparing to enter battle. You could feel when you entered the room, and you end up getting a win July 5th at Mid Ohio, 10th win of the career, 5th in the standings right now. How do you feel this season's gone for you personally, Pato?
Man, it's been a very surprising one, because by this time of the year, we usually have got 5-6 podiums. We've got at least one or maybe 2 wins. But this has been the only, man, I have 1 podium and I have only 1 win. But apart from not being able to be on the podium in all the other races yet, we've always been like 4th and 5th. We've been pretty consistent in the top 5, just not quite like in podium contention. But that has kept us alive in the championship. Like I'm only 25 points behind 2nd place, which if you told me this is the year what I would have had so far, and told me I'm still 25 points away of second place, 4 races to go, I would tell you, like, there's no way. There's no way. But we are there, and we still got 4 races. And, you know, I don't know if you saw Markham race last weekend. New street course too. It was super cool. Raced so well. I screwed up in qualifying, and right before the race, I told the team, like, I'm not in the mood to take the highway today. Like, someone gets in my way, they are getting moved. And
Let's go.
well, that's what we did, and we had a great race. So I said, we're gonna have a great race, or we're coming back on the record, because at this point, like, this honestly, this is what I love to do, because there's really not much pressure at all. Because all you're hunting, you're charging. We're not protecting anything. I'm not protecting anything, at least. So I love racing like that, when then you're literally, like, you're just, yeah, you're hunting, and it's the best feeling in the world, going into the race and you're like, we're going balls to the wall today.
I was just about to say, so these final 4 races, you're going to be balls to the wall,
Balls
no
to the wall,
caution,
bro.
just chasing down, looking to kill. What do you think? What does the off season look for you, Pato? What are you maybe looking forward to once your race has been run?
So in September, October, I've still got a lot of travels. I'm gonna test the new 2028 IndyCar. I don't know if you've seen pictures of it, but it looks badass.
Oh, no way.
So I'm gonna be testing that a couple times. I'm gonna have to go to I'm going to Greece to do a road show for McLaren Racing in like an older Formula One car, which that will be cool. But compared to all the other off seasons that I've had the last 5 years, it'll be very different, because I let go of all my Formula One duties, because I love IndyCar. IndyCar is where I want to be.
Yeah.
And I was asked to kind of just be let go of that, to be able to have an off season and enjoy my life. Like I said, I'm consumed by this, man. Every single day, everything that I do, everything is always, how can I become better, and how can I win? How can I be better than the other guy? And I feel like in the off season, it's important to also be able to enjoy your life, be able to enjoy your family, people that don't always get the more soft side of you during a season, because you're always,
Yeah, you're always
like
locked in.
15,000 RPM, kind of like, So that's what I'm gonna do. I would love to go back to Japan. Actually, like, Japan is one of my favorite places. I want to go to Asia. I want to go to Asia, throw my phone away somewhere, and then maybe go to, like, Singapore. I've never been to Singapore. I don't know. I want to be like a normal human being, and, like, just enjoy something that I treasure a lot, which is just making memories with the people that I love.
Oh man, Pato's the coolest.
Hey, yeah.
I know.
That's a great perspective. Pato, really quick, I have a selfish question coupled with an offer for you.
An offer.
An offer.
Oh.
So we're going to show you a picture. This is me in the jumpsuit at the Indy 500. I got to ride in the 2-seater. My first question is, do you think I could be an IndyCar driver based off that look? And 2, I will work the lollipop, the stopper in your pit anytime you need me. I've made the offer to Connor Daly. I've made the offer to Joseph Newgarden. Neither have taken me up on it, but I'm going to make the offer to you as well. So, yeah, if you ever need me, I would love to work the lollipop. I can do tires, anything to be on the pit crew.
You look like you would spin the car trying to get out of the box.
What about the lollipop?
We were guessing, but we told him he looked really cool.
I look like a good lollipop guy, though, right?
And lollipop is underrated, man.
Yeah.
Get it in the wrong spot, and you're gonna screw up all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so what is the key to a good lollipop guy? Just timing?
The lollipop is that whenever, right before I'm boxing, there's a certain mark, but when you raise it to let because when my tire comes under it, it has to be dead center on the tire, and that's where I look. It's honestly, it's one of the craziest things when I went to IndyCar, because you never practice pit stops, and then you go into IndyCar, you start doing these pit stops, and like, okay, you need to look at this stick, and you need to place this car, and it's a big car, like the tire's big as well, like there's a lot of people around, and then you're also like basically almost running over 4 other guys that are waiting there to change their tires. So you have to act like they don't exist, and you just have to look at this lollipop. But if the lollipop is not in right place, you will run somebody over, and they're gonna get hurt.
See,
I'm training the
you
lollipop.
would be responsible for killing people.
No, I wouldn't.
Get out
I'd
of
be
here,
great
dude.
at the lollipop.
Like maybe you don't kill them, but you might have to give them like a cheese board and some wine, because you probably will break, it'll be your fault that we broke their leg or something.
Listen. Next year at the 500, if you need a guy on staff doing anything, I got you. Babysitter.
No. I'm in Pato's team, not you, dude. You stay over in Daly's
Any
camp,
physical
okay?
activity.
Get out of here.
Daly turned him away.
Yeah,
Daly rejected me, so I couldn't be his
We're
lollipop
Team
guy.
Pato here at WUB. Pato, thank you so much, man. You're the absolute best, as always. So thoughtful, so sincere with your time. Kick ass at the Freedom 250 this Sunday, brother.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy the show.
There he is, Pato O'Ward, the legend. It's going to be 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox this Sunday, the Freedom 250. Watch some of the best drivers in the entire world race around the nation's capital. Coming up next, let's close out the first hour of the program. We got some college football on the docket, some coaching tiers here on Wake Up Barstool. What's happening, guys? Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. So we had a new AP Top 25 drop. No major surprises, but the scene is set going into college football. And if there's one thing I love on this earth, guys, it's a tier list. And The Athletic just released a coaching tier list. There's only 2 guys in tier 1. It's Curt Cignetti and it's Kirby Smart. First off, reaction there. Is that fair? Do these 2 deserve to stand alone?
I would say so.
There is a gap, I'd say.
Ryan Day is the only person that you can maybe move up into that tier 1 because he has won a national championship and has consistently churned out top teams in the sport. But I am totally fine with leaving those 2 just at the very top.
I do think it's interesting that Franklin still sits in tier 2.
I'm
not denying that he's
bizarre.
a great coach, but I would have expected that people would have dropped more on him. But tier 2 seems kind of fat, kind of wide.
Well, yeah, I mean, because it is
dense, yeah.
I mean, it's tier 2 is defined as like established winners that show consistency. You know what we don't talk about, speaking of consistency, we don't talk about this enough. Curt Cignetti's time previous to JMU and previous to
He won
Indiana.
at Elon.
I was going to say,
if anyone watching this program knows anything about FCS football, you don't win at Elon.
He's been a head coach for 15 years. He's never had a losing season. He's finished in the top 25 11 times, 9 below the FS level, to your point. Like, he's won everywhere. Kirby's obvious as well. He's got the back-to-back natties. Even the last 3 years where they haven't made it, they've won 2 SC championships. Ryan Day, is it fair to hold him to a higher expectation even though he's won a national championship? Because he is,
yes,
I would say he's the only
yes.
guy. I mean, Dabo, I guess, has a couple, but it's been a decade since Dabo won.
Yeah, there's been one major stain on Ryan Day, and it's the fact that he just now got over that Michigan hump. Whereas for 4 years, they just couldn't beat Michigan. Now, obviously, they beat them last year, but that was really the only thing that I would say. And obviously, I think there are a bunch of people in Columbus who will contest that within that 4 or 5 year gap, they were consistently falling short just before a national championship or just before like the big game. They couldn't win that one. But obviously they get that national championship. Now they've gotten Michigan, that monkey off their back. I think, yeah, you could make a case that he should be higher up on this list.
Do you put more weight in head coaches who have grinded their way up the head coaching ladder, or the guys that made a jump from assistant to head coach? Because a guy like Cignetti, like you said,
Yeah.
has grinded up the coaching ladder. Kalen DeBoer has grinded up the coaching ladder, won everywhere he was.
Yeah.
Guys like Kirby Smart, Ryan Day, even Marcus Freeman kind of just made the jump from high-level defensive coordinator, high-level offensive coordinator like Dan Lanning. Steve Sarkisian, very similar to immediately head coach, big-time program, instant success.
I think I think everything you just said just proves that there's multiple pathways, right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you name Cignetti and DeBoer, great coaches. But then again, look at Dan Lanning. He was basically like a prodigy, like, I use this term loosely, like Nepo baby. His parents were Nick Saban and Kirby Smart.
Yeah.
And his success through 4 years is like pretty unparalleled. But then look what Cignetti did. So both work. There's no one path. I want to revisit this list a bit later on in the show as well. But coming up next, we're going to stay in the college football realm. We got Fox Sports' RJ Young coming on. He ranks all 133 college football teams. We'll get into it. We're 138 now. My bad. We'll get into it with RJ Young. What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. We're kicking off hour 2 with one of the best college football minds we got here at Fox. That's our guy, RJ Young. RJ, what's happening, bud? Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me, guys. I'm excited about it. Ball's on top of us, and I can't wait to start talking about football again.
I know, because you're a sicko. You recently came out and ranked all 138 Division I programs. I guess how does that come about? Like how do you feel? What's your process like to be like, okay, I feel confident in this. I'm going to put my name on this, and I'm going to rank every single school in the country.
To start, the hubris that I could do something like this begins with, all right, I like the sport. I watch the sport. Who do we know is good? Who do we know is going to be consistently good? And then my favorite part is getting to know the rosters and teams. So for me, this process starts this year in February. Start looking at what the rosters look like. Start looking at what the head coaches have done or not done. Continuity of the coordinators, quarterback strengths. And then this season has been especially difficult and or fun because we've got guys that are getting another year that we didn't think were going to get another year by court injunction or by this 5th-year rule. And now I'm really confident that these 138 teams feature the best football that we've ever seen because this skilled labor force has never been more skilled. So we start in February, we go through spring ball, we see who's hurt, who's not, and then about July, it starts to form up.
So you made some hay as well, or some waves, I should say. Indiana, ranked number 1 here, and not everywhere. The other polls, checking it at 5, checking it at 6. What's your thought process behind Kurt Cignetti's group back at the top spot?
They ain't lost a game since 2024.
Yeah,
and it's
that's
to a Notre Dame team in a college football playoff. We doubted the man in year 1. I doubted the man. I'll take that blame. I doubted the man in year 1. He said, Google me. And I ranked him 97th, Indiana. And all they did was say, hey, man, shove it. Here's an 11-win season where our losses are to the 2 teams that played the national championship. And then rather than fight it, you take the medicine. What's the learn here? The learn is the coach informs so much of how you should view a college football program. The personality of that head coach. And his personality, as you guys were referring to it in the previous block, is winning. That's what he does at every single level. I've even talked to a few players at Elon about, man, when did this turn over for you? And they said day 2. His expectations for himself meet us. So now that we got a dude that went 16-0, first program to do that since Yale in the 19th century, he's not returning a quarterback for the 3rd time, but he likes what he has. He's got his coordinators that stuck with him. He stuck with them. I'm going to put them at 1 and wait for somebody to beat them.
RJ, 2 things stick out to me on your rankings. I'm curious. I want to get your opinion. I'm Ebo, by the way. I'm the number 1 college football expert in the entire world. In place of number 2 expert Brandon Walker. You have first-year FBS team North Dakota State just on the fringe of the top 25. Why do you have the Bison ranked so highly?
Well, I think it starts with, just like Kurt Cignetti in Indiana, all they do is win. That's what they've done. It's a 12-1 team last year. It's a program that has featured in an FCS where they've been playing, this 2014 playoff for a little while, and they always seem to come out at the top. I got to talk with Tim Polasek earlier this year once they made the move to the FBS and then became able to play for a college football playoff spot. I'm like, okay, I know what this team is about. I know what this team is capable of. Let's put them at 26. It's not 25. And let's see what they do against Jacksonville State. Let's do what they do against the Mountain West. But right now, as it sits here, I think they're the Mountain West's best chance to get a team into the playoff this year.
How about this, RJ? I'm going to go with some homer questions here. I'm an LSU guy by trade, obviously. Lane Kiffin, year one, an insane amount of turnover, a very polarizing team to discuss in terms of like people have it's very extremely variable positions on him. Where do you fall on what your expectations are for the Tigers this fall?
Bare minimum, make the college football playoff. Bare minimum.
Wow, minimum.
We all know what you spent on the roster. We all know what you spent to bring in Lane. We all know the fuss that LSU made to go get him and to make him feel safe and comfortable. So now you got everything you want. You got Sam Levitt over there. I really, really love Blake Baker, and he needs to get a whole lot more noise.
Yep.
But at the bare minimum, this team needs to be one of those 12 teams selected into the playoff. And I need to see Lane coach in a postseason, right?
Yeah.
What really upsets me about this year is that I know what Pete Golding's going to do in the postseason. I don't know what he's going to do in a regular season. I think I understand how Lane is going to coach this team in the regular season. It's just what are they going to do once they get there? But at bare minimum, make the college football playoff.
RJ, I'm going to follow up one homer question with another homer question. I'm a Penn State guy. Matt Campbell coming in for year one. You have him pretty high up in your rankings, right around where Penn State falls in the AP in that like 16 to 18 range. What are your expectations for Matt Campbell in year one and this Penn State team that does have a pretty favorable schedule, but also does have to mesh the Iowa State team from last year and this current Penn State team? How do you see it shaking out?
First off, Big Dog, no such thing as a homer question. College football is local. It's cool. I love it.
Straight up.
Penn State, I like them a lot. And I love Matt Campbell. And again, it's kind of how I'd start these conversations. Who's your head coach? And what's his personality? And what is his win-loss record? Matt Campbell came to a place in Iowa State that didn't have an identity. Mm-hmm. He gave it one. He gave it his. It is to work your behind off. When I got to talk to Matt at Big 12 Media Days years ago, I asked him about, being a player. This dude was really highly touted coming out of high school, ends up at Pitt, didn't like it, sees Larry Karras' Mount Union jogging on the highway, decides that's what he wants to do. So that's one. Two is Larry Karras says, hey, if you can make a fist and put it into concrete and grind it in the ground, you can play for me. And that lit Matt Campbell up. Last thing he told me, it's like, hey, you're not necessarily going after 5 stars or guys we think are ready. He goes, we go after our guys, but I get your point. At Iowa State, we had to go up the rough side of the mountain. That's the mentality he's bringing to a place like Penn State with the resources that Penn State can provide. It's why they're a top 25 team. It's why I expect them to stick. And again, I think Matt Campbell has a great opportunity to coach this team to the college football playoff.
Love it. And actually, just going off of what you said to begin with about the homerism and how the team's all localized in college football and everything, our guy Brandon Walker, who's not on the show today, has mastered the list and the ranking system in college football because he'll just put out a random top 10 list and he just makes a ton of people mad. These college fan bases, they just it's so much engagement. They just want to flood to his replies. Have you noticed with your massive list, has there been one particular fan base that has really had a problem with where you've ranked their team in the entire 138?
It's difficult to say, man. It really is because college football is also about how big the fan bases are. Yeah. But I'll tell you, it's someone that doesn't seem to have a problem with me. And you hit on him earlier before. It's North Dakota State. Yeah. They're going, okay, here's the guy that gets it. He understands. This is who we are. Cool. We're fine with this, RJ. Go with God.
Yeah. How about this? So there seems to be how about this, I guess? There seems to be a consensus, it's like 7 teams that people say, okay, we believe these teams can win the national championship. Do you have anybody outside of that 7 or maybe any dark horse threats that you think could make runs through this playoff?
Not a dark horse run because we've heard of everybody, right? By definition, dark horse is somebody you never heard of.
Fair.
But a team that might be able to make some noise deep in the playoff I'm going to watch all year is USC. And it's going to shock some people, I understand, because I'm an Oklahoma guy. I grew up in Oklahoma. That's been my squad. Watching Lincoln Riley's teams, big part of my late 20s, early 30s. Okay. He's at SC with an offense that's explosive, scores, doesn't take a whole lot of time off the clock. It's been really difficult to marry a defense to that, especially in this age when we're playing less football than we ever have been. It's harder to score than it has been the last 10 years. So you really got to manage your possessions and treat every game as one in which you don't want to make mistakes. So what's he go do? He goes and gets College Football Hall of Famer and one of the best defensive minds to ever live in Gary Patterson to coach his defense.
True.
So now I got an offensive genius and a defensive genius on the sidelines at SC. They got a tough schedule. It's hard, but they got a returning quarterback in Jaden Mahava I love. They got running backs that he's comparing to Samaje Perine and Joe Mixon. We'll see. If that all comes together, SC's in the college football playoff for the first time in their history, and they're there looking to win the national championship.
RJ, who's your favorite member of the X-Men? I love that blown-up cover behind you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm a big softie, dude. Like, I genuinely love Professor X. That's it. I went to college at OU, then English professor. It's what I was going to do at Oklahoma State in large part because he got to teach kids. It's not about the brain power. It was about, I want the best for humanity. I want the best for mutants. I want to be in the spot where I'm teaching, where I can give you something you can take with you, apart from you're one of the most talented individuals walking the planet.
Hell yeah, man. That was a very thoughtful and sincere answer.
Yeah.
True X-Men fan, dude. Thank you.
Doomsday coming up.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I like the new X-Men casting for whatever that's worth.
Yeah.
I like kind of the new crop of stars here. RJ, okay.
I got one for you.
Yeah,
I got
go.
one for
Go,
you.
yeah.
Did you see the Lantern premiere?
Yeah, bro. So I grew up a massive Green Lantern fan. That was my favorite. I was a DC guy. I grew up on Kyle Rayner. So to me,
Okay.
Hal Jordan was always this kind of monolithic, figure that wasn't as much a character as somebody who was like applying pressure to every aspect of Kyle's life. But I love the kind of true detective direction. I mean, they are space cops if we're talking about the Jordan era. And I thought Kyle Chandler was, he was a good Hal, him and Jon Stewart. I'm very excited. What did you think?
I'm up on Jon Stewart. I've always been up on Jon Stewart. I'm gonna wait and see because Damon Linda lost my guy. Wait and see what we do with Hal over time. But right now, I'm like, yeah, they got Jon Stewart on the head. I'm fine with this.
It is great. I mean, Jon Stewart was so great in like Justice League Unlimited and everything growing up. It's awesome to see him in live action, dude. It's a golden time for us nerds, RJ, including college football nerddom. Okay, on the way out here, give us the game you're most looking forward to this season, and then who wins the Natty.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm gonna get yelled at for this, but Ohio State, Texas, man.
Yeah, for sure.
This is not last year's Texas team, and it is Ohio State team that we feel really good about and it's on the 40 acres. Like, if they're gonna do it, this is the year to do it as far as Texas is concerned. And a team to win the national championship, goodness me. I got a hard time picking against Ohio State or Indiana at this point, right? Oregon, I gotta see it. Texas, I need to see it. So let's say Ohio State, Oregon in the national championship game, and I'm just going to go ahead and pick Ohio State because they have the best player in the entire country, and they've had him for 2 years. If Jeremiah Smith is on the field, you have a chance to win every game you play.
Well said. And if they were to do that, then Ryan Day would likely move into Tier 1. RJ Young, thank you so much, brother.
Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, guys, you catch him online all over Fox Sports as well. College football analyst RJ Young. He's the best, ranking all 138 teams. Coming up next, what are we bringing in next week with us? What are we leaving behind? It's time for Connor Griffin's Ins and Outs.
This is a 30-minute segment coming up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No Brandon. When Brandon's away, the Connor will play. What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. Quick fun fact to start the segment with, then we got to get to ins and outs. I didn't realize this. So the Brewers won 22-0 last night. That's the largest shutout victory since 1888. 1888, a historical day.
That's crazy.
For baseball, between that and Alex Bregman becoming the first ever to leadoff homer, walk-off homer, leadoff homer. Now, let's go to our guy Connor Griffin for some Griffins. I said Alex Bregman, PCA, excuse me. Let's go to Connor Griffin, Griffins and Outs.
Hello, T-Bob.
What's
Hello,
up?
everybody at home.
Can I ask a question? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt the Griffins and
Yeah,
Outs
get
segment.
We kind of interrupted the intro to it right there.
Yeah. I stepped all over. We always end on an out, which is like a negative, right? What if we started on an out and ended on an in? Ended on a positive note.
Do you have an in that you would like to
That's what
throw
you
in
brought
there?
the show to an arresting halt for?
Oh, God forbid I want to have some positivity around here when the curmudgeon is gone.
I think.
Yeah, I guess that's fair, kind of.
True. Yeah, I think there's an out at the end of this that has a positive spin on it, but we'll see. I'm going to start off, first of all, just talking about the things that, obviously we want to bring in to next week and beyond with us. The stuff that we saw this week that was cool, that was fun, and then the stuff that we could leave behind us, they're out. But we're going to start with an in, and I am very much in on stare downs. Stare downs in sports are electric, and we saw one for the ages yesterday where Fernando Tatis, there's a grand slam happen, and nope, he robs it. And immediately, hat goes flying off. He stares down the camera, does the flip with the ball into the other hand. This was sensational, and he's getting everybody fired up. I need to see more of these in baseball. We see them a lot in basketball. I think of the LeBron stare down. We need more of these in baseball, and there are plenty of moments that could use a stare down, but we don't use them.
Also, look at Tatis's body.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a physical freak.
KB as a physics, a male form appreciator. Look at that shape. Like, that's an alpha male right there.
Yeah, he's a Dominican Capricorn, so you gotta expect
Yes.
all of the flashiness. That's relatively tame for someone of that status.
Yeah.
Didn't he also hit 2 home runs?
Yes, he did.
He's all the way back. He started very slow. I don't think he hit his first home run until June.
So
I hope he's
Tatis
getting the
Jr.
compensation he deserves financially.
He should be.
He is, but he's one of those contracts, right?
Yeah, he
With
is one of those contracts.
The Dominican Baseball Academy type things, right? So
What does that mean?
they took they lend you money and they take a percentage of your future earnings.
Oh, damn. Okay. Good. Like, so all future earnings, like in
Yeah, that's why he had a lawsuit with them. I think he might have lost. I don't know if that's true or not.
So, yeah, stare down.
All right, what do we got
Very
next?
cool. My next out, I am out on the Indiana Bears, and I think a lot of people are out on them thanks to this tweet from @CreamSleeve
Cream sleeve.
on Twitter, who was at the preseason game, I believe it was Saturday, tweets this out, and the caption was, I can see the Hammond skyline. The thing is, that's not Hammond, that's Gary, Indiana, which is where the Bears would not be playing under this new stadium.
How close is Gary to Hammond, though?
Fairly close, but yeah, this is not the Hammond skyline. But this did like irreparable damage. This has done millions and millions of views, and now you're getting this groundswell of support online from all the fans. Like, we cannot let this team go to Indiana because that's what's going to be awaiting them. And I actually do think it's causing some positive traction in the talks of getting the Bears to stay in Illinois, to stay in the Chicago area. Arlington Heights obviously has been thrown around, but I do think the Indiana Bears, it cannot happen. I don't want to see it.
You say cannot happen, but every report is that it is happening. And Indiana is bending over backwards to make this happen.
They're doing tricks on it. They want the Bears bad.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
One, I don't think the video is doing that much damage. I think it's like Twitter brain stuff.
Oh, I think it is.
Two, wouldn't it actually be better to move it there to improve the skyline sight from the stadium? Because right now, everyone in the stadium has to look over and see that skyline. If you put it inside that, the only skyline you get is Chicago, and you don't have to see the skyline of
Okay,
of Gary.
So
You'll improve the skyline.
So I'll counter a couple of your points. First, I agree with you. Well, actually, I agree with you. It's likely Twitter brain, but it's still very fun. It's still like a very objective, easy to grasp onto.
I don't think the stakeholders are looking at that video and saying, "Oh man, we really screwed up, man."
Now we're going to turn down the free stadium that Indiana's giving us.
Yeah, I don't think
that said, yes, you may improve the skyline by having Chicago in the distance, but also it's going to be sort of like a constant reminder of a former lover. Like you're going to look around at Hammond and maybe the lack of infrastructure or brand new infrastructure, and you're going to look at this like storied old American Constantinople where East meets the West, the third largest city in America, and you're like, oh man, remember we used to be over there? It might drive home some of those. And look, guys,
it's like the green light in The Great Gatsby.
I get it. It's a good call, Connor.
Thank you.
I get it. It is functionally, like if you're on the south side of Chicago, it's a good thing. It's technically in Chicagoland. I understand all of these things. As an outside observer, it's just objectively lame for the pride and joy of Illinois to be in Indiana.
Yes.
It's just not cool. And there's no amount of money, no amount of logic, no amount of reasoning that you could ever put across from me that would make me accept that the Indiana Bears would be cool.
Yeah. And we do know, even if they do move to Indiana, they will not be renamed the Indiana Bears officially, as we found out from the whole Twitter saga with the reporter who got duped. who said that, oh yeah, they're going to be named the Indiana Bears, but it turns out his source was a guy pretending to be our very own Big Cat. So that is not happening. That was a funny saga on Twitter, though, over the weekend. Anyway.
I just want to know, KB, do you have thoughts on Northwest Indiana as a geography guy?
Yeah, I think it's just the crossing of the state line that's throwing people off. It's very much the Chicago metro area.
Yeah,
if you look at other teams across the NFL, there's worse examples. I think like the San Francisco 49ers aren't even in the San Francisco metro area. Obviously, the Jets and Giants aren't in New York City, which they should be. Cowboys,
Yeah.
far away.
That's
from
what I'm saying, though.
Dallas.
I understand all of this. It still sucks for the Bears to be in Indiana. I
think
can't
this
get
should
behind
raise
it.
awareness. I think all teams should be in their city,
And the Giants,
especially in
and
the
Jets.
city center, not in a suburb or in just like a field of parking lots.
Yeah, we make fun of the Giants and Jets all the time because they play in New Jersey, and I think you run into that a lot with the Bears. Moving on.
But great wrestling in Northwest Indiana.
Great wrestling. That's good to know.
Valparaiso?
Actually, yeah, that's a big draw. I'm very much in on ball spikes. We were talking about stare downs for the first in. Ball spikes, very much in. Look at this celebration. This is Westchester, I believe it's East Side Little League. Yeah. Look at that play. Look at the ball spike from the first baseman, the hat throw, the glove throw, everything going nuts. This is when they advance to the Little League World Series, which I believe begins today.
Today.
Big time for Rico Bosco, our very beloved Rico Bosco. This is his Super Bowl.
Is he big on the boys' beat?
Little League World Series. He's our number one Little League World Series guy. And
Damn.
shout out Pennsylvania, shout out Westchester. This is going to be a team to watch. Look at that. Beautiful play, beautiful execution of the celebration. I'd go for a ball spike in like tennis. I'd go for a ball spike in whatever. I just need to see more of this. It's a great celebration that so far is pretty much confined to football. Let's do it more often in other sports. It's great.
Shout out 09 Chula Vista, greatest Little League team ever assembled.
Whatever happened with all the drama about the super team being assembled?
There's a lot of litigation. There's a lot going on. They're accusing other teams of cheating.
Didn't we get an injunction from a judge to allow a team to play?
Yeah, and then they dismissed it. And then
So we had an entire Brendan.
and then it
Thorsby
turned. And
saga.
then there was a report that at one point the Oklahoma State tournament was kind of a farce. Like there's only 5 Little Leagues in Oklahoma, and 2 of them were fake. Is what the accusation was, and basically teams were just showing up, paying $150 and playing. It's a lot. If you are engaging in corruption in Little League baseball, you are a loser. You are a loser. There is no end. There's no means. There's nothing to gain.
Yeah.
What are you gaining from cheating for 12-year-olds?
I mean, it is like it's the extreme endpoint of the travel ball dad, right?
Yeah.
It is that personality type taken to its logical conclusion.
Well, and listen, now that college sports are no longer amateur, high school has now become, and especially going even beyond high school, going to middle school and elementary school, like people want to professionalize and glamorize these sports to a degree where they get so invested in it. It's like, yeah, we just don't have amateur sports anymore. It's crazy.
The big business of little boys baseball.
Yes.
What do we got next there, Kana?
Well, talking about business and trying to professionalize everything and get rid of the amateur stuff, I'm out on the Big 12 jersey patches. Have you seen the jersey patches? That obviously the whole league now is sponsored by Monster, which is pretty cool. I like how the league has a whole sponsor, but the patch on the jerseys, I don't know if we could zoom in a little bit. It is awful.
Can we get this a little bit? Can I get a better?
It's just a rectangular box with the Monster logo.
Oh, I see it now on
Big
the
12
picture.
logo.
Oh, that's
Stacked next to
terrible.
it. It's encroaching totally on the Kansas here. This is the Kansas uniforms, obviously. There have been some other pictures of some other Big 12 teams repping that Big 12 Monster patch. I've always been like, yeah, who cares? Like, obviously, the jersey patches make a lot of money for the schools. We're in an arms race now in college football where these programs need to make money. Fine. Put the jersey patches on there, but not if they're going to look like this. This is disgusting.
This is the most low effort thing I can possibly fathom.
We are dangerously close to going the way of soccer, and the name being gone and just being
You know what's a deep
your
irony?
corporate overlord.
Have you all seen the movie Basketball? Matt Stone and Trey Parker back in the day, and they open up and it's all about professional sports and the transient nature of superstars and franchises as they move all over the place. Who would have ever fathomed that college football would actually be the sport that would have arrived at the basketball future that Stone and Parker once put in front of us? Yeah, that's terrible. Especially because I saw mock-ups online of what it could have looked like.
Oh, yeah.
With the Monster logo tied into the school's logo and kind of the color scheme. Also, the schools are only making $1 million a school off of this. So it's not even a good deal, dude.
Yeah.
Also, I'm kind of confused how you can be sponsored by. That's a cryptocurrency, Ripple, XRP, or whatever. Is that what they're sponsored by?
I don't.
I'm confused.
I know
by the function
XRP
of that.
is a coin.
I'm not sure
I
if
don't
that
know
is
that's
that. Okay, I'm
sponsored.
confused.
Yeah. They got double patches. They got the generic Big 12 monster and then the XRP on the other end. So yeah, I'm just very much out on that. I am very much in on the Jaden Daniels jokes, though. I know we're 5 days removed from
Story won't
this
die,
story
dude.
breaking. We can make Jaden Daniels jokes for as long as we want because they will always hit. The MLB really got into
I know.
this whole trend where you had every single team just tweeting out, oh yeah, went from 4 to 6 runs on a 2-run homer out of respect for Jaden Daniels. They didn't want to have their final score be the number 5 out of respect for him because obviously Jaden Daniels going to LSU saying you can't use number 5. That's my number. Blah 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 blah. I almost wanted to talk to Pato O'Ward when he was on here because he drives the number 5 car and he had the 5 on his hat. Are you willing, Pato, to give up your number 5 in honor of Jaden Daniels because everybody else is? The Phillies reached 5 runs on a Bryson Stott homer, and it's Bryson Stott will not cease nor desist in reference to Jaden Daniels with the cease and desist. So I think they're hysterical. I think it's a great time to be on Twitter. A bunch of people saying that Jaden Daniels is the Robin Aaron of the NFL for any Game of Thrones out there, any Thrones heads. So yeah, I just like the jokes.
Robin Aaron, a character who famously at about 12 years old was still breastfeeding.
Yes, and was very attached to his
Entirely too old. I had a cousin that breastfed a child until the child could talk.
Oh.
And that was a little disconcerting. I love you, though. You know I love you. You know I love you. But that was, it's a lot hearing a child ask, essentially, to suckle.
Yeah.
They should not be able to verbally describe the taste of their mother's milk.
Yes,
after feeding.
I believe that I'm right in line with that opinion. Here's the thing about Jaden. The worst part about this story is it makes you talk bad about a guy that was objectively great. You've got 3 Heisman winners in your school history, and yet all this entire week has been LSU, even the LSU account's trolling him.
Yeah.
The LSU football account, they're tweeting out DJ Pickett won't stop making plays. At number 5, there's NCAA video game mods where every single LSU player has number 5 on. Jaden Daniels should be celebrated, and I hope that eventually we can round back into form and find him.
It ain't going to be for a while.
I know.
These jokes are not stopping. Also,
You would know, Snow Paterno.
okay, we can get back to that if we want. My last out, I'm out on making millions of dollars. It's overrated.
What?
If you pull a 1-of-1 ultra rare Cooper flag jersey patch rookie card, I think I said that all right, that's worth upwards of 1.5 million, even though some offers go up to 3.6 million. You should hold on to it because it's all about the memories, which is what Jason Williams, not our Jason Williams who works for Barstool Sports, White Chocolate, not that guy. There was a guy named Jason Williams who pulled this insane card that the Mavericks account tweeted out. They were like, hey, if anybody pulls this card, it's a 1-of-1, we'll give you this. And this guy still is not giving it up. There are people online saying, we'll give you 1.5 million for it. Still not giving it up because he said it's about the memories of holding the card and what it will mean for his family.
No, okay, no. No, he's holding it hoping that it appreciates.
He's going to take it to auction.
Right, he's holding it hoping that it appreciates.
I don't know.
He is not, at least he's not taking the Mavs bounty.
I think taking the gift is never the right play.
No.
There's far more utility in the dollar value of whatever they're offering you than just having season tickets to the Mavs.
Yeah, he's going to savor the memory of hearing the gavel hit when it sells for $3 million eventually, and it changes his entire life.
I don't know. You guys wanted a...
You wanted to sell it, Connor.
You wanted a more sentimental, feel-good, happy ending to the Griffins and outs. I think this is pretty happy, making memories with your kids. about having this card and holding it and cherishing it instead of just giving it up for the corporate greed of America. Which, by the way, how is this card going for $1 to $3 million? I don't understand it at all.
Are we in a bubble? Like, is this collectibles, be it cards of any sort of ilk? Like, are we in a bubble here? Because it seems to me the prices are exploding.
Right. Men are devolving into children. I think that's an epidemic. I do respect that they're finding joy in these nostalgic hobbies, but it's becoming weird.
KB, can I ask a personal question? Do you think I'm devolving into a child as I progress in my age?
No, you're like a permanent, 40-year-old woman.
Okay, fair.
The opposite.
I'll take that.
The opposite.
All right. I suppose.
I like the idea, too. You're talking about his kids are going to cherish the memories as they're being buried in student loan debt. They're just having to take out loans to pay for their lives. And dad's like, hey, guys, look at this.
There's a
Cooper flag card.
There's a 2-inch by 3-inch piece of plastic worth $4 million in your house.
Yeah.
For the Mims. All right, Connor, excellent job.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
On the
It's weird
Griffins
not
and
having
outside.
Brandon in here for the Griffins and outside.
Yeah, I know it's weird not having Brandon here in general, but he's going to pay. What a shot. All right, guys, coming up next, it's time to revisit college football. I want to get into these tiers more. Who can move up? Who can move down? We still got KB's birthday segment coming up as well. More Wake Up Barstool here on FS1. What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool here on FS1. College football season right around the corner, guys. We are almost to week 0, and college football is a sport. The transient nature of the rosters means at times it's hard to keep up with the players. The quarterbacks definitely reign supreme, but it's a sport where the head coaches remain the draw, right? The things that all the narratives are built around, they become essentially kings in their own individual fiefdoms. They become legends to the towns that they bring success to. And here are your athletic college football coaches here. Signetti and Smart, the only Tier 1 coaches. Who do y'all believe after this season will be adding to that Tier 1 list, if anybody?
Maybe Lane. I don't know. Marcus Freeman, if they do capitalize. If
the
it is
Mario
really
Cristobal meteoric rise is pretty wild considering where he was after that Georgia Tech game.
Oh, he was clowned universally.
I mean, you would have put him in Tier 5.
Well, he was. I mean, and look, I'm someone who was chief among, I used to call him Mario Cristofraud for years. He was a 500 coach with over a decade as a head coach, kind of like an inverse Signetti. But what he's done at Miami now 2 years in a row, because even 2 years ago they were good, and then obviously the playoff run last year, I have to give respect due. I've given myself over to Miami, and you have an ACC that with the collapse of Clemson, guys, it's a power vacuum in that conference.
Well, sticking with that, is it a bit crazy to see Dabo Swinney still in a Tier 2? I personally think it is.
So we talk about brain rot a lot. This is sort of the college football equivalent, or maybe just how we view sports in America. It's a version of brain rot, where we find it impossible. If you have national championships on your resume, we find it impossible to not give that a ton of credence, even if the last championship was a decade ago. Like, I'm with you. It is so clear the game is passed Dabo by. Entering this season, the roster doesn't look good at all. They were 7-6 last year when they were supposed to be top 5, but he went toe-to-toe with Saban back in the day. He has the natty, and so he still ends up as Tier 2 on this list.
I do think it's interesting. There's not a lot of guys outside of blue bloods. Like, where are the guys that are doing less or more with less? Like, because I would put like a lot of those types of guys. Like Signetti obviously is in the Tier 1 because he's doing the most at a program that had the least for a long amount of time. But like, does a Brett Bielema deserve more credit? I'm not saying he's a Tier 2 coach, but should he be getting a lot of credit for doing a lot of Illinois, which hasn't really been that good of a program?
So he's actually at the top of Tier 3. He's the first left out of Tier 2. And yeah, because he's going to be solid. He's going to win consistently. Maybe not the heights of these other guys. Kyle Whittingham would probably be the guy in this list right here that is most what you're talking
right,
about.
because before this offseason, he was at a a school. I mean, where is
Like he's actually
where's
the only.
Kalani Sitake?
He
That's another one where it's like BYU has been so good for so long. He probably, I mean, Matt Campbell is another one where it's like Matt Campbell was doing a lot at a program that didn't have a lot going on.
I mean, honestly,
this is more of like what you've proven list.
If Whittingham's in here, I would have no problem putting Sitake in here because Whittingham is the only coach on this list without a college football playoff appearance. And BYU right now, I looked it up the other day. I want to say it's the last 5 years, something along those lines. But there's 11 schools that have won 70% of their games, and BYU's the only one that hasn't made the playoffs. And so BYU, this is a massive year for them. Bear Bachmeier going to be a sophomore. It's going to be awesome. Is there anybody that you think will drop out of this list? What are your thoughts on James Franklin at Virginia Tech, Connor?
It's so tough because I do think that's the perfect marriage. I think him going to Virginia Tech could not have been a better landing spot. I do think they'll win a lot of games given how much the ACC has fallen off in these past couple of years, and he could take advantage of that. But long term, him as a national championship coach, I don't know. Part of the reason it fell out at Penn State was just because of the way he viewed NIL. And in this new day and age where you have to be really careful about how you allocate funds and which players you're paying, he was paying everybody. Like he was paying the 105th guy on the roster. And I just don't know if that's going to be able to launch you into a good standing when it comes to putting yourself in a position to win at the highest level, because you're missing out on guys if that's the case, and you're not spending the money the right way. He had like a family model, which, again, can win you games. Can it win you the biggest games, which is what he struggled with for years and years and years at Penn State.
The more I look at Cristobal, the more I'm reminded of like I feel like our memory was wiped like in Men in Black.
Yeah.
Just by that playoff run.
Yeah.
But
that's fair.
They kind of choked away the ACC 2 years ago with Cam Ward.
And they choked away the ACC last year, frankly, not making the game.
A lot of people didn't think they deserved to get in. I know Miami's supremely talented, but now I'm I had been like, oh, they're a shoo-in to win the ACC. Last time this happened, a team was this big a favorite in the ACC. I believe it was Clemson.
Yep.
Clemson was like minus 800 and did not make the title game. It was like a Wake Forest Pitt title game.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
In 21.
Kenny Pickett year.
Yes. I don't know. I'm not ready to
You're
sell
looking at
Cristobal. Cristobal, maybe Dabo if it's over.
I was going to say, I'm looking at Dabo and DeBoer as most likely fallers. Most likely guys to rise into Tier 1. Marcus Freeman, absolutely. They're gonna walk to the playoffs. Lane Kiffin potentially, but Dan Lanning's the guy to me. 4 years as a head coach. He already has an undefeated season. He already has a Big Ten championship. He's an absolute psycho. The last 3 years, they're 37-0 against teams that didn't play for the national championship. He's won 2 playoff games last year. Yeah. He's got a 500 record against top 10 teams. So he gets this. He can win the big game, and they have as much, if not more, talent than any team in the country this year. I think Dan Lanning's going to be Tier 1 by next season.
They just got to solve the blowouts. They get blown out a lot when they do lose. They get
How it ended with the last 2 playoffs. Again, it does loom large, but watch out for Lanning in Oregon this year. They got all the pieces. Just going to see how he does with the coordinators being replaced there. Some bad news coming out of New Orleans Saints training camp. Been a rough training camp injury-wise for the Saints. Brian Brzee, the very good interior D lineman, out for the year. That's how it started. Jordan Tyson, the top 15 first-round wide receiver they just drafted, comes up lame with hamstring problems. And now the Saints legend, Alvin Kamara, going to miss a month with an MCL sprain. How are y'all's NFL? Well, the Panthers have gotten devastated as well. Mm-hmm. How are the Eagles doing on the injury front thus far?
Fine. Devontae Smith had a little bit of a hamstring issue. Aside from that, we're pretty much good. I feel terrible, though. We're maybe the #1 NFC South show on television, and this is terrible for the NFC South. This was the team that was supposed to really rise up this year, and they're experiencing all these injury problems.
I hope nothing changes for the Eagles. I hope y'all make it okay.
Is that
the number?
No, I'm being.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One of the #1 determining factors, like with a high correlation of whether you make a playoff run, is essentially just are you healthy?
Yeah.
By the end of the year, it's not. I mean, there's talent matters obviously, but maybe the second most important thing is health. Are we not paying enough money in the NFL to doctors and strength and conditioning people? Should that roster be like 50 million deep with scientists? Should you be allocating a significant portion of your salary cap to doctors prescribing like peptides and like fringe medical treatments to try to do anything to win?
This is something that I always find so hard to discuss because we're coming from such a place of ignorance, right? Like how much of this is preventable? How much of this is a nature of a game that is the most physical game that we have, in which, yes, people wear pads, but the pads make you hit even harder because, paradoxically, you feel invulnerable. The athletes are getting bigger and stronger and faster every single year. Maybe it's inherent to the sport. Maybe we could be doing more, but I don't know. These doctors are like modern day wizards. It's tough to argue. Like they have access to arcane knowledge that is forbidden to us mere mortals that we can never really wrap our head around. Even though doctor free agency sounds kind of fun.
Yeah.
That could be that would give us some more stuff to talk about for sure.
I still don't get peptides, man. I don't know what they are. I don't know what they do.
Do you know, KB?
Scientifically, no, I can never fathom that type of stuff, but all I hear is that they are a miracle treatment.
I've heard that.
I've only heard rave reviews. You lose weight, it curbs your appetite, it makes you more shredded, it makes you more tan. There's plenty, and
it's got to be a Faustian.
I'm holding out, hoping for something terrible to be found.
Okay.
All right, coming up next, we're going to engage in some Steiner Mass, some birthday celebrations, and a little fight and practice more. Wake up. What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. You see it, we're counting down until football season.
Dangerous lead for the NFL right there.
Yeah.
Dangerous lead.
College football's got something coming, dude. The Aer Lingus is around the corner. And once the Aer Lingus hits, you know that football is officially back. Are you week zero, guys?
Yeah.
I'm slowly, I think, workshopping a take that August might be my favorite month to be a sports fan. And part of it is because of the anticipation for football, this great chatter that we've had today on the show. And then week zero is like a very, very underrated thing that I don't think enough people give it credit to. I love week zero.
Week zero, the last 2 week zeros, I was at a bachelor party and a wedding, and it was like the perfect amount of football for both of those activities.
Yeah.
Because it gives you enough of a taste during the day of the big time game, but also it's like you can go do whatever, go to the ceremony.
I remember being on like a friend's beach trip, a bunch of kids and dads and everything, and like leave the beach to go to like get a burger for lunch and watching like Northwestern in Nebraska, week zero with Scott Frost. Great memory.
Call me a sicko. I also really love the NFL preseason. I'll watch that. Scratches an itch.
That's a sicko move.
Yeah.
But also, so does a lot of America. So
Yeah.
Again, we are addicted, right? That's why we're going international here. KB, August 19th. Why does this date matter? We got some good birthdays, occasions to celebrate here.
Get some birthdays, some anniversaries. Hillary Clinton's husband, William, turned 80 today.
Oh, wow. Happy birthday to the former president.
Orville Wright. He would be 155 if he didn't die of a heart attack.
The popcorn baron?
Orville Wright is the plane boy.
Oh, okay.
And
Redenbacher.
it turns out that he didn't really do the work. He just hung around while Wilbur did all of the innovations and technical work. Orville just flew the plane. I think Wilbur just tossed him in there just in case he died.
Well, hold on now, but that means Orville's taking on. I mean, flying the plane is a big part of the
bravery,
equation.
but I don't think he had the ingenuity to actually invent the airplane. But would you guys go back in time to stop them from doing that?
No, why?
Well, if you think of the net negatives that have come from airplanes.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's a good ethical hypothetical.
you would have never become a New York Jets fan.
New York Jets.
Yeah.
I mean, there was another event, 9/11,
Yeah.
Pearl Harbor, the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but they've obviously done a lot for us too.
You think society would be in a better spot if we didn't have air travel?
That's my question.
It's a reasonable hypothesis.
That's like I can't remember his name, but the scientist who learned how to essentially, I guess, take like nitrogen I think like out of the ether, out of the air. I don't know how exactly you do it, whatever. But it like led to fertilizer, it like uncapped food markets. We could feed way more people, support, but it also led to like the creation of insane bombs and everything else. A bit of a dual-edged legacy. I couldn't help but notice that you didn't mention that it is the Cajun Cannon, Bobby Hebert's birthday. Happy birthday, Dad. Happy birthday to my oldest sister as well.
Happy birthday to your father.
Yeah.
It's also the Burger King's Whopperitos 10th anniversary and the Starberry Sneakers 20th birthday.
Oh,
really?
Man, I used to love some Pom Marbury. Yeah, speaking of the Saints, Bobby Hebert, former Saint, they had a fight at practice yesterday. And if you missed this, check this out. It's a joint practice, Cowboys and Saints, determines guys who make the team. One of the guys fighting to make the team is Scott Steiner's son. You may remember Scott Steiner, the old WWE superstar. So here's his kid. Face mask pulling, akin to hair pulling in a football fight, too. Get the hell out of here, dude. Throw punches. It's dumb because you're just hitting a helmet. But look, here's Steiner. He's learning from his old man. Uh-oh, you already know what's coming. Boom. Belly to back suplex.
Takes the back. KB, what do you think of that? Good technique.
Take your 33 and a third chance, minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 1/3 chance of winning at sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning, if we used to go one-on-one, and then add 66 2/3%, I got 141 2/3 chance of winning at sacrifice. See, Joe, the numbers don't lie. And they spell disaster for you at sacrifice.
That's one of my all-time. That is the attitude that I take into every football weekend with my favorite team.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how big the gap may be, how much of an underdog you may be. There's always Steiner math where you can find a way to convince yourself that your team's going to rise to the occasion and kick ass that weekend.
I like the lady in the background who's kind of just nodding along confidently, as if anybody in that room knew exactly what he was saying.
I like the guy who's not his son that looks like mini Scott Steiner.
In a way, yeah.
He's like, huh?
Yeah.
Huh? A little confused. Shout out Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump.
The wrestling technique in that fight, KB, thoughts?
That was true wrestling technique. I don't know if he competed in his youth, but I know his dad, Scott, was an All-American at Michigan.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah. It's also the 92nd anniversary of Hitler being voted into absolute power.
Oh, wow.
Viewer. And the 3-year anniversary of my wonderful mom's tragic death. Rest in peace to her. Shout out to not Hitler, but my mother.
Okay. Thank you, KB. Yep. That was a very memorable August 19th rundown.
Roller coaster, yeah.
All right, guys. So we are going to be out for a little bit. So tomorrow we have a full wall-to-wall football preview, NFL and college football. We have a best of episode coming up on Friday. We're gone for a week, and then we're back, baby. Surviving Barstool tonight. We love you. We'll be back Monday, August 31st. More Wake Up Barstool in a bit.